12.3, using proportional relationships. We're going to look for unknown height over here. We're assuming that these two triangles are similar, right? So that's what's given to us. So what do we know about the figures, the property of the figures, if the shape is similar? If you said the ratio of their sides are equal, then you're absolutely correct. So the ratio from height to the, let's call that shadow, okay, should equal to the ratio of this palm tree to its shadow right there. So if that's the case, xy over zy is equal to ab over cb by property of similar triangles, or simply say because sides of similar triangles are proportional. So whenever you do a math problem, it's a good idea to always justify your work. So plugging for xy is 1, zy is 1.6, cb is 7.2, and we gotta find the length ab. Okay, if you cross multiply and divide, that's 1.6 ab is equal to 7.2, and when we divide that, the height over here, which is ab, is equal to 4.5. Okay. One of the ways that I would do this calculation is that AB, so this is like the in-between step right here, is 7.2 over 1.6, right? Or you could say 72 over 16. And at this point, what you can do is try to find a common denominator, common factor. And I see that that's 8 times 9, that's 8 times 2. That cancels, so the answer is 9 over 2, or simply 4.5 in this particular case. The height of the palm tree AB should be 4.5 meters. Moving on to example 1b. Sid is 72 inches tall. To measure a flagpole, Sid stands near the flag. Then Sid's friend Miranda measures the length of the Sid's shadow and the flag's shadow. Okay, if that's the case, we have a sun, let's say here, that is sufficiently far away that it creates the same angle here, guys, right? And we're assuming that the flagpole is perpendicular to the ground, and so is Sid. That means that we got angle, therefore these two shapes are similar, right? So once again, sides of similar triangles are proportional. So you should always write down the reason for what you're doing, and that is 72 over 48 is equal to h over 128. And if you like, you could simplify this right here. That is equal to 3 over 2, right? So whenever possible, always try to simplify. When you cross multiply over here, that is 2h over 3 times 128. I am not going to multiply that out yet, because I see that it's easier to reduce that, which is 3 times 64. When you multiply that out, it is 192. That's in inches right here, so it's 192 inches. And so you could say, therefore, the height of the flagpole is 192 inches. If you could divide that by 12, it will turn out that is 16 feet. Okay. All right, let's move on to the moving on to example 2a. Hiker wants to find the distance d across canyon. So this is the canyon right here, guys, and that's the distance across the canyon. And she locates the points as described. So she has a landmark x, and she places a marker directly across the canyon. Check. She turns 90 degrees, and she keeps walking 400 feet. And then she places a marker at z. Check. She continues walking another 600 feet. and places a marker there, check. She turns 90 degrees this way, and you walk until where you are from here, and the markers Z and X forms a straight line. Okay, so now we're expected to find the D. The beautiful thing about this, guys, is that by doing so, that's 90 degrees and that's 90 degrees, and that's a vertical angles. So by angle, similarity, triangle theorem, we know that the triangle WZV is similar to YZX. So we know that the sides of similar triangle are proportional, right? Then we know that we have this length and this length, we have this length, that's what we have. So what we can do, there's a couple of different ways to set this up, but let's take it the quick way. So small to big, 400 over 600 is equal to D over 327. Once again, that reduces to 2/3. So 3D is equal to twice the 327. So divide by 3. If you do a long division over here, guys, that should work out, shouldn't it? Yeah, so that I believe is 109, right? So when you multiply these two again, that's 218. So therefore, the distance between distance D across, sorry about that, let me erase that, let's not be too sloppy. Distance D across the canyon is 218 feet. Okay. Usually in math class, we don't really concern ourselves too much with the units in the middle, but make sure that you have the proper unit at the end of the question, please. Okay. And I believe this question is very, very similar. To find the distance D across a gorge, she identifies a point in the figure right here. Find D. Same idea. So this is a vertical angle right here, guys. So similar triangle by, you got vertical angles are congruent, we got right angles over here. By angle, similar triangle theorem. And we know that the sides, because of that, sides of similar triangles are proportional. And then we have to go small to big is equal to small to big. If you wish, you could go big to small. Or if you wish, you could go, as long as you do it in a similar fashion, you'll be fine. Vertical divided by the across, vertical divided by the across. So any one of them would work fine. Now, when we do this, once again, we probably should simplify stuff. I believe 4 goes into both of them, right? No, so 6. 6 goes in there 4 times, 6 goes in 7 times, right? That is cross and multiply, that is 7D, 4 times 35. And then we divide by 7, that's equal to 5. So 5 times 4 is 20, right? So therefore, the distance D across the gorge is 20 meters. Okay, guys, so we have your turn. This is your turn to do the problem over here. You got 2 of them. So why don't you work on this, and I'll come back and go over this with you guys. It's a good idea to pause the video right now. So we're back. The answer to number 3 is the tree is 21 feet tall. But first thing you should do is why are triangles similar? Well, because it's angle, similar triangle. When you talk about shadows, guys, you're allowed to assume that the angle of inclination is indeed congruent and they're right angle. Therefore, by angle, similar triangle theorem, they are similar. And then we know that the sides of the similar triangles are proportional. So we're setting 6 over 8 equal to h over 28, which dot 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 with some work will show that h is 21. And then for number 5, I put the answer on the top. The distance d across the stream is 24 meters. Once again, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEC by angle, similar triangle theorem, because of right here is the vertical angles. Because the vertical angles are congruent, and you've got 2 right angles, guys, right? Because of that. And then that implies that the sides of the similar triangle are proportional, which means that d over 12 is equal to 12 over 6. And dot 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 would show the work in the middle. Therefore, d is 24. And then you would conclude with full sentence. All right? All right. Please get started on your homework on 12.3.